So after last week's controversial episode of The Mandalorian took us away from big space battles and action and giant monsters and took us down the political intrigue route of Star Wars, the Andor part of Star Wars. It was pretty much an episode of Andor, or an offshoot B-side of the Rangers of the New Republic show that we are not getting anymore because of controversies or whatever. Let's not get into all of that. But they took us down a different, interesting path. One that involved political intrigue, nuanced storytelling, and just morally grey characters. And it was just really good with all the talking and the words. I love it when a show has two people and they say words and I'm interested in what they say. And then there's like a character arc. But you know what else I also love? Giant monsters! I just love when a dragon grabs a little child and just flies off into the distance. And then a ship's flying. And then you see the sun and you're just like, oh my god, that looks so good and beautiful and amazing. Somehow, The Mandalorian had one episode just monsters. Cave troll, demon monsters, political intrigue. And now we're just back to giant dragon. I mean, it's just, it's amazing how many giant monsters The Mandalorian and his Mandalorian friends can just shoot in the face. But no, Mando and his Mandalorian friends have changed their ways. Now they put those monsters into situations where other monsters kill that monster for them. Also, that big turtle crocodile that killed him, that was probably like the cousin or the brother or something of that other one they killed like 3 episodes ago. And if letting other big monsters kill the big monster instead of you killing the big monster isn't enough to show the Mandalorians have changed their ways, now they kill the parent and steal the children to raise as Mandalorians. Wait, hold on. Is that worse? Actually, because now I'm saying it out loud, it sounds worse. Because in the episode, they're like, we've got new foundlings. That's the theme of the episode or whatever. Let's pretend there was a theme or something. Instead of just big dragon, let's shoot it in the face. Foundlings, there's a new foundling, 3 dragons. We're going to ride them. It's going to be so cool. But now I think about it, they killed that parent, the mum or dad, of these dragons, and now they're going to raise them. What will the dragons think when they find out they become teenagers? They go, we don't look the same. Like, what happened to my parents? They're like, we killed them because they were just trying to feed you so you grew up. Yeah, it's worse. Now I'm hearing it. Now I'm going back a second time. Much, much worse. So just to be clear, I really did have a lot of fun in this episode. I thought it looked brilliant and breathtaking. I loved seeing a dragon. I love seeing little baby dragons in a big nest, like a bird, but it's a dragon bird. Pterodactyls, I think, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's a big dragon bird. Loved all of that. Loved seeing all the Mandalorians fly around in their jetpacks and, have a bit of fun. But let's be honest, the show is starting to make the Mandalorians look, how do I put this politely? Like idiots? Wait, no, I wasn't polite. No, it was! I was going to say something worse. Idiots is probably the most polite way I can put it. What the hell is with them training on that area? Like when they were doing that ceremony and the giant crocodile turtle rocked up, I was like, oh, big monster, I love it! But when you really think about it, did they know it was there? If they knew that there'd be creatures there, they wouldn't, do the ceremony there. So presumably that's the first time a giant monster has appeared in that kind of area. So now they'll avoid that beach. But unfortunately, the Mandalorians are dumb, or for some reason, The Mandalorian, the show made by Disney with literally all the money in the world, is cheap and they only have one set, one desert-looking cave set. So they had to film it there, despite the fact that they would not be training there. Like, why would you train somewhere where giant crocodile, turtle, dinosaurs just like pop out of the ocean out of nowhere? Like, you can't hear or see them coming. They just appear like a crocodile right at the edge of the water and they just go to town. And the Mandalorians pretend to be very competent, amazing warriors, but it took like 40 of them to take it down, and it killed so many of them. Like, they didn't all just get into their jetpacks out of reach and shoot at it. They were like trying to fist fight it and stuff. Like, these guys are, as I said before, idiots. And I'm not trying to idiot shame anybody. I am also an idiot. But as an idiot, I feel the right, and I feel the privilege in a lot of ways, to call out other people who are idiots. Now, you might be saying, it's not that stupid. They've all got guns or whatever, and a giant turtle, crocodile, dinosaur. The big sea monster, it didn't attack them. No, but a dragon did. A dragon just flew down, and we saw it coming. The kid's like, it's a dragon! And they're all just, looking on as it scoops up the kid and just goes sailing off. And they all get in their jetpacks and they start flying with the jetpacks. And then when they all run out of jetpack juice and land, they're all like, damn, This happens every time. Every time a child happens. Sorry, wait, let's just stop there for a moment. Every time? So this has happened before. So dragons come and just scoop up kids off the beach. Train somewhere else. Train in those caves. Start digging out those caves. Find somewhere the dragons don't attack you. Or maybe have some sentries. Maybe build a watchtower and have a sentry. You've got guns and jetpacks and probably a walkie-talkie. Couldn't there be a guy who's like, hey, yeah, you know how the dragons are always coming from this way? One's coming, everyone get ready. And then they all stop training, they all get ready, and they shoot the dragon, you know? Because they're not afraid to shoot the dragon. It's not like they're like, well, the dragons are super sacred Minosaur-esque dragons of this earth. As soon as the dragon stole them, like, we better go and kill that dragon right now. So it's not that they're afraid to kill the dragon. They just don't seem prepared for something that happens all the time. You would just think, just like one guy with a walkie-talkie, just watching. No, not only that, but they know that the jetpacks are going to run out of juice and they never make it to the lair. That's why they don't know where the lair is to just go and preemptively kill the dragon. So they are going off with the jetpacks, just being like, oh, hopefully this time it just like stops for like a break while flying, even though it knows that every time it comes and takes the kid and drives off, that we never make it. So it won't stop. It'll go because it doesn't want us to shoot it in the face. Instead of, I don't know, what's something clever they could have done? Get in the ship and all just go together to fight, to kill the dragon. They go on their jetpacks and then the ship flies past. And yes, I know, I understand. It's a really cool moment of them being like, oh, we can't make it. Our jetpacks are out of juice. And then the ship flies past and then the sun's there and it's all silhouette-y and shimmery with that heat thing that happens. And it looks gorgeous. Like, that is the best shot I've seen in ever. I just love it so much. But just, I don't know, the logic of everything. Like, she gets to the place, sees the dragon, and then goes, I better fly all the way back. So far that somewhere in the middle, the jetpacks run out of juice. So it's really far. And also, when she comes back, the other guys are back. So they walked back? Or did someone fly with another jetpack in their hand to bring them the jetpack juice? There's just a lot of things I've got questions going on for a 23.5-minute episode about shooting a dragon in the face because it wants to feed its kids. There's just, not plot holes. I don't want to say plot holes because they're just things that I noticed and I don't think they're plot holes. I also don't like using the word plot holes because I feel like it gets used too often, too liberally. I would just say it's the Mandalorians being super dumb. Those idiots. They're just, it does honor Boba Fett in a lot of ways, you know. A whole army of Boba Fett's just being incompetent fools. So instead of using their brains and using a ship so they can make the distance, they are lucky that Bo-Katan makes the distance, and they are also lucky that she's able to make all the way distance back. They all get in the ship, and then they all go back, and somehow when they get back, they then climb up, which looks like it took, like I was going to say hours, but let's lowball it. Let's say a strong 25 minutes, like maybe a half an hour. They're climbing all up. There's a couple of cuts to show time has progressed. They're just climbing and climbing because the jetpacks will be super, super loud. Let's be honest, jetpacks they're just not going to be that loud. I really don't think it's going to be an issue. But let's just, argument's sake, it's an issue because that's cool. They're climbing it and, they're shooting their things up and it all looks brilliant. And I love seeing them shoot their little, Batman grappling hook gadget situation thingy. And so they're all climbing up and they get there and they're like, hey, no one's here. And you see the whole nest and then somehow the birds appear out of nowhere and they're like, we're here like a horror monster, riggedy-boo! And once again, it looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful. I love that it's just a bird's nest with lots of twigs. Fun. But dragon bird! And then the dragon appears and it coughs up the kid to feed the children. So what the hell? What was it doing? It has grabbed its food. It's being chased, so it knows there's like a time frame situation, and it doesn't think they'll be able to get there, but that doesn't really matter. And it lands there. The bird gets to the spot. Bo-Katan knows the bird's at the spot. Flies all the way back. They fly all the way back again. Climb a mountain. Let's go crazy and say it took them 15 minutes. All in all, some time has passed since the bird originally landed at the nest. And just now, the bird is coughing up, disgustingly, regurgitating the little child to feed its children. What's the time frame here? Like, I'm not suggesting we're dealing with some kind of Gendry running Ravens of Game of Thrones Season 7 timeline thing where it's a huge, massive issue. I just feel like if I'm noticing it in an episode so simple, you can describe it with dragon still baby to feed family, they shoot dragon in head. And that's the whole episode. Nothing else happens. and there are like elements that don't like work and fit cohesively, you've done something wrong, maybe? Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, writers of this episode, you couldn't just make it... It's like they know that when you see Mandalorians flying in the air and there's a dragon and they're shooting in the air, you're just like, yeah! Boba Fett's fighting dragons! Oh, there's like 5 or 6 of them and one's really fat and he's got a big gun. Oh, just, whoo! So good! And then they you know, tackle the dragon with rope or whatever they did, and it falls in the ocean, and then, you know, I was like, I will bet every single dollar I earn for the rest of my life. Ever. The big crocodile dinosaur thingy. We'll eat that thing. Exactly like the end of Jurassic World, and Jurassic World was just copying off an episode of Walking with Dinosaurs, a fantastic documentary about dinosaurs that came out in like the 90s or whatever. Just, it's the same thing. And it's like, it's cool, look great, but it's just like... I don't know, it just felt so obvious. But there were things I truly loved where I don't think there was any issues with them or, you know, things to be like, what? And that is mostly to do with Bo-Katan. I like that she led the mission. I like that she had, you know, the smarts to do all the smart things. Another thing I really liked was the end where she's like, give me another thingy and make it the mythosaur. I saw the mythosaur. What do you bloody think about that, Lady Armorer? And she's like, this is the way. And it's like... What do you mean by that? What does that even mean? Do you believe her? Do you not believe her? Because you're kind of implying that you think she's just like hallucinating. Like, this is the way when you're a Mandalorian, you hallucinate the mythosaur. And she's like, no, I saw the giant dinosaur. I saw the mythical monster. The mythical dinosaur. I saw it. And she's like, yeah, this is the way. I don't know. It's just a weird vibe. Or I'm misreading that entirely. I don't know. And this episode was not without its B-plot, and that involves Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda gets into a duel, and the moment he puts that little darts shooty thing on, I was like, oh, that's so adorable and messed up and crazy, and just, I don't know, we're slowly armoring him up. He gets the big armor chest plate thing, which was super dope. He gets the little dart thing, and we do that classic thing where one guy gets 1, 2, and you're like, well, he'll clearly get the 3. And it's just so silly. He just does a flip over him and a flip back. And the kid's like, oh my God, what's he doing? Oh my God, I don't even know how to deal with this. It's like, dude, he's just like flipping over you. Just like shoot him in the air. Like, what the hell? He wasn't going that fast. Did they not know he could move? Like, I don't know. It was just kind of hilarious. I love when he does a flip though, because it's just so, it looks so silly and stupid. I love it. I love it. But then we get the tragic backstory of him escaping Order 66. And I found this part of the episode super underwhelming. Super kind of nothing. Like, it was great to see Jedi with lightsabers. But funnily enough, I've actually seen Jedi with lightsabers before, defending blaster bolts. Like, I've seen that. I wanted to see something truly amazing. And the way we just cut in, and there's like 3 or 4 clone troopers, and 3 Jedi of defending like almost the same amount of clones, and like 2 of them die? Like, what were they, the worst 2 Jedi in the world? I expect a Jedi to take 40 clones out. Like, when they were all betraying them straight off the bat, and that's the shock and awe of like, you're turning around and suddenly you're like, wait, what? And you don't know what's happening. And then a couple can kill you, for sure. Like we saw in Execute Order 66, like that montage in episode 3, but I feel like, you know, the doors are opening, they know what's about to happen, and to be taken out so easily, suddenly I'm really deflated. I'm like, well, I don't care about these terrible Jedi. They deserve to die if they're that bad. They would die on the first mission they went out on. This is not competent Jedi. And it kind of goes through, and we're getting Baby Grogu out, and it just felt so surface level. Like, out of all the imaginative, amazing, insane ways they could get him out of the temple, this felt like the most boring, the most standard, ordinary way. I just found it really underwhelming. The new character I'm intrigued by because, cool, new Jedi. It seems like we're going to focus on him in some way. But I really want to spend a full episode with this. Like, I loved episode 3. I'm one of the only people that really, really loved episode 3. I thought it was a really cool way to kind of, you know, extend this little part of the Star Wars universe, focus on these characters. That reveal at the end where she betrays him was heartbreaking and devastating. But it's like, if you're going to focus for 35 minutes on that, and Baby Yoda is going to have a flashback to him escaping the temple, I would prefer to have that as a full episode. Spend 35 minutes of the full episode, like, spend the whole episode. This should have been a 50-minute episode. Give us 35 minutes of Baby Grogu and set up characters. Have Jedi talking. and like give them story and character and personality. Have them all chatting and chilling and training Baby Yoda. Have like 20 minutes of that, and then have a 15-minute escape scene where they all slowly die. Rogue One style. Just kill them all. And then maybe have that one guy, because he's got to get someone to get him off. But that would just be so exciting and interesting. And like the whole time they're all chilling and hanging, we're getting to love them and know them. The whole time we just have this underlining fear and dread because we know they're all about to get betrayed by the clones. Maybe have some of the clones like talk with Baby Grogu, Baby Yoda, and be like, oh, you're so cute. And like he's hanging out with them. They're all having fun. And then they get this order, and one of them goes to shoot him in the face, and then someone chops his head off, and then the scene escalates and escalates. But no, just a couple of Jedi being like, and he's got 2 lightsabers. Ooh, 2 lightsabers! How much better is 2 lightsabers than, good character work and good storytelling and not botching something that everyone's been thinking about ever since we found out that he was there at the time? Like, this should have been a full episode. It was so underwhelming. I didn't like that bit. It was really, really disappointing, and they should have been able to do better. We deserve better. Baby Yoda is like the best Star Wars character. He's super awesome and cool. And you give him this flashback, like I don't know, like what the hell, Dave Filoni?